Good afternoon and a warm welcome to Spotlight on 6 Plus Careers. Please could you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Lois Partridge. I'm a director of planning at Saunders, which is a medium-sized surveying and planning consultancy based in the UK.
So what does your job involve?
So my job involves securing planning permission for clients who have land or buildings that they want to get a planning application through. But it also involves promoting strategic land through the local plan process to try and persuade local councils to allocate that land for development. So it involves working with local councils and with a whole range of stakeholders, clients, stakeholders like the Environment Agency, Natural England, consultants who do all sorts of different types of professional work, so highways consultants, ecologists, to bring together either planning applications or submissions to local plan.
So what has been your career journey to get to this point?
So I have a slightly odd career journey. So when I left school, I joined the RAF as a commissioned officer, and I served in the RAF for a number of years. But when I got married and had my children, I decided I wanted to do something different. So I left the RAF and I went to Oxford Brookes Uni and did a town planning degree as a mature student. And then after that, I started work at Oxfordshire County Council as a planner in their minerals and waste team, and then went back to Oxford Brookes and did a master's degree in environmental assessment and management. And since then, I've worked in a number of private planning consultancies, just sort of working my way up really to do this job now. So I guess it all started with a kind of a love of or an interest in land use, maps, just the physical built environment, and it's gone from there really. And I would say that doing planning has been brilliant because it's a vocational degree that gets you a job at the end of it, and you can work in such a wide range of different disciplines with a planning degree.
So where has your job taken you? Has it enabled you to travel?
I get out and about, so I go to see all different sorts of clients in everything from sort of normal houses to people with farms to people who own huge areas of land that they want to look at whether some of that could come forward for development. At the moment, I'm working on a big brownfield site near Nottingham, which is an old ironworks. It's a 200-acre site that we're permitting for employment. So it's a real mixed bag. I don't think it takes me anywhere broad or particularly amazing, but it's such an interesting and varied portfolio that there's always someone new to go and see, whether you're standing in a farmer's field or interesting job to do to get out and about and see people.
So if you were to hire an apprentice for the company, what skills and qualities would you be looking for?
I think they'd have to have a natural interest in land use and the built environment and what happens, in terms of how does the environment react with development. So that having a kind of keen interest in that would be a huge help. In terms of their personal qualities, I would say it's really important to be able to communicate with people and to listen to what they want to do and understand and interpret their requirements. There's not really specialist skills. I think attention to detail is helpful because quite often it's all about the detail in planning. It's all about what makes the difference between getting planning permission or not. But really being a people person, I think, is a huge help. And if you can go out and talk to all sorts of different sorts of people, then that really helps.
So what would you say you enjoy the most about your job?
I the thing I enjoy most is trying to understand what somebody wants to achieve, and then working with them over, sometimes it's months, sometimes it's years. Planning's not a quick thing to do, to try and get to the point where we get what they want to happen. So whether that's securing planning permission, whether it's seeing some kind of lovely development come forward that they want, but also about doing that in a way that hopefully minimises the impact on the environment, and takes into account local sensitivities. So it's about not having a blanket approach to different tasks, but actually thinking, what is the context here? What needs to be protected? What are the opportunities that a particular site offers? So it's kind of bringing together all that, getting through the planning process, and then hopefully getting a resolution at the end of it.
And finally, what advice would you give to your 15-year-old self?
The best advice I give my 15-year-old self is not to be constrained by what school tells you is a career choice, because nobody even mentioned planning to me, and it's a really natural link from geography and from ecology and from any of the kind of land use disciplines, and it's a way of applying all those things to a job. And yet when I went through school, I didn't even really know what planners did.